Hi and welcome to Cecilia's Art. This is part 2 on how to abstract in acrylics. The first part of this series I showed you how to go with instinctive painting and kind of like just different designs, different colors, throwing it all in there, just go with the flow. And we stopped at a point where I felt like I should start to make it into something. Well, the second part I videoed, and once I finished it, which was this is the final, this is what I came up with, before I realized it wasn't videoing. So I don't have that footage. So what I did was I started again, and I came up with this. This is the basic, what I ended up with. Just doing different colors together, making different marks, using stencils. And we're going to start this video from here. And this is the same size as the other one. I used Bristol paper, and I used a couple of coats of gesso on top, so the paint will adhere better. So what I'm going to start with this is I'm going to make some outlines of some of the shapes that I like. I'm going to use a Faber-Castell pencil, which is a Pit pen. Yeah, this draws really well on top of acrylic paint. Much better than alcohol markers. So what I'm doing is I'm just picking some shapes and just going over them and kind of outlining and not being extra careful, just kind of quickly and outlining. And if it's a little shaky, you know, it's not a big deal. I'm not going to purposely make a design. I'm still following my instincts. So I'm picking areas that I think are interesting. I do like the flowers. This is a little rose stencil that I have. And I've done a picture before using this one, and it came out really cute. So I'm just going over the edges of some of these flowers. And as you can see, I'm not going over every edge. I'm not being extra careful with it. I'm overdrawing in some areas. Just kind of just outlining to make things pop. And this is just some of the parts that I like best. I'll interest this blue section right here. And then we have this line here. And this pen is starting to wear down on me. So it's not all going to come out perfect. And it's not a big problem with this kind of art anyways. Doesn't have to be perfect. I need a new pen. I do have some somewhere. I don't know where they're at. Oh. Nope. I have them in a Ziploc bag somewhere. So I'm just picking some shapes that I like and kind of outlining them. This is going to give me some emphasis. So while I'm doing this, I hope this video records all the way through. I really do need a better system of recording. I'm just using my phone. It's an old phone at that. And it's running out of memory, even though I have deleted just about everything in it. So I don't know where that memory section is that I'm supposed to be filling up with. I even disabled my iCloud. I really don't like that iCloud thing. It's like all these phones, they all come with an iCloud, right? And everything you do in it gets recorded into the iCloud and saved. Every picture that you take, whether you like the picture or not, whether you deleted the picture from your phone, it's not deleted from the iCloud. So where does it go? Who sees this iCloud? I can't see it. I can't find it. Of course, I'm not very tech savvy. Maybe some of you know exactly where it is. I don't know. All I know is if somebody out there must know how to get into my iCloud. I don't like that, not one bit. Because there's some pictures that weren't exactly something I wanted anybody else to be looking at. Especially if I didn't want to look at them and I deleted them. I deleted them off my phone, but they're still in my iCloud. This pen is just not working very well. Let's see. I'll try this one. This is a Tombow black liner, which I believe, no, Molotow, which is, I believe, is alcohol base. But it's working a little better, at least for now. And I'm just making little marks, just following some lines that I see that the paint made. Now, when I originally made this one, I found it was a little bit too much, too bright. So I went over it with some white, and you can see some white streaks here and there. And that was pretty much just to tone it down a little bit. So this is going to help with that. And now I am just picking out shapes. I like this part right here. I should bring that other one out. I couldn't make another one exactly like I did in part one because, well, it's an instinctive thing, and you just cannot. It's not the kind of art you can copy. I can make something in the same spirit, but as far as exactly the same, no, that's never going to happen. Now this is starting to give it some design, and I like this area right here and this going up here. Not too crazy about these black areas, but that's okay. We're gonna fix that. And I'm gonna put some more outlines over here. And I'm going a little bit faster than I normally would, just so this video doesn't take over an hour, which I think my last video was 44 minutes. Try not to do things that long, but I don't like editing, and some people need to see everything that that you do. You know, every step that you do. If you want to watch somebody paint with a time lapse, there's hundreds of videos on YouTube for that. I enjoy the time lapse videos, but I also like to watch the ones that are real time, especially when I'm not sure what the artist is doing. And abstract videos are kind of hard to explain. Especially when you go in an intuitive nature. You're really just doing what you feel is right. There's no rules on it. Although you could always apply your normal artistic rules as far as, you know, color composition and center points and things like that. That does help. Usually when I'm doing this, I'm listening to music or podcast, but I can't do that while I'm recording because YouTube has its little rules about using other people's content. I could put some music on here and, like I said, just, you know, some elevator music or something, and do it while I do this fast. But tell you the truth, I don't know how to do that, and I really don't want to. Okay, I feel like I got a lot of lines. I could go on with more, but I'm not going to. Now I'm going to take, let's see, this is a Stabilo, or what actually this is it's a General Scribe All, which is the same thing as a Stabilo pencil, which is, it writes on top of everything, and it's water soluble. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around some large shapes, like this part, this whole part right here. I'm not that crazy about. I'm just gonna circle it with this, and my tip is kind of dull. I need to sharpen it. Let me see, I have a sharpener somewhere. Should have sharpened this before I started. Okay, here's a sharpener. Now I'm going to show you how to sharpen a pencil. Okay, most people will, I'm right-handed, stick the pencil in there and turn. That's not how you sharpen a pencil. You hold the pencil and you turn the sharpener. Get in there. You hold a sharpener. You hold a pencil. You turn the sharpener. It's a little more odd that way, but your tip comes out even and straight. You have less chances of it breaking or coming up all wonky. And after like 50 years of doing art, I just learned this about a year ago. So you're never too old to learn something new. How about that? Okay, I'm also going over this section right here. And I'm going to take a small brush and wet it. And just go over that line I made. To emphasize that shape, so you can see it better. I can see it better. There it is. And the same line I made right here. I'm just wetting this Stabilo pencil my brush again. And I got these two shapes right there. So, oh, I have some more black right here. So I'm going to do the same thing with this area. Kind of like, and this is not a very smooth drawing because there's so much texture with all the paint, layers and layers of paint I put on this. So it's going to be a little bit on the messy side, but that's okay. There we go. Now I have these 3 amoeba-like shapes. Now what else I like about this? I like my roses. I like this rose, and this rose, and this rose. And then I've got this one here, and this one here. So that's 2 more shapes. Now, I have watched hundreds of hours of other YouTubers doing this kind of art. And they don't explain how they get their final design. So, this is something I developed on my own from their experience. And what it is really just finding a picture within the picture. Now we're starting to get, I got circle, circle here, a flow going this way, some amoebas over here. Now I really like, I like this section. This section's pretty cool right here too. These sections I'm not that crazy about. They're too dark. So what I'm going to do is take a small brush and get some white paint on it. And I'm going to draw around it. Now, I have I have a white acrylic paint pen that I could do this with, or a white gel pen. Gel pens work pretty well on top of acrylic paint. But right now I feel like doing it with this. See, I could use my acrylic pen. No, this is the gold. Where's my white? Oh, I don't even know where that is. Okay, it's not around here. I thought I had it in my cup. Well, I was going to show you. Oh, here it is. It's an artisan white acrylic pen, or you could use a Posca pen. These are the only acrylic pens I've ever used, so I don't know if a Posca pen would be better. But I find it that the paint's too thin and doesn't quite cover it. Well, it seems to be coming out okay right now. Now, this painting is completely dry. It's been dry for quite a few days. So my pencils and pens on top of it are working pretty well. If you do this when your paint's still wet or like has that cold feeling to it, like dried to the touch but not completely cured, may not come up as well. There we go. So this one actually worked better than the paint. That's paint, that's marker. Huh. Okay. So I'm going to go over these right here. Normally I would be turning this paper around, but I don't want to do that while I'm videotaping. So this is how it's going to be. There. That. And here. Okay, I like that. So I want to connect these elements with something. So how should I connect them? How about if I take this Stabilo and just kind of go around where these colors go. I go all the way to the corner here. And then follow this line. Here. Now this pencil, you can pretty much paint on anything, including wet paint. It's not going to hurt it. So I'm going to go here. And that's giving me a shadow. There. And then this right here is going to go like this around this flower and meet up right here. That's interesting. Let me try this with my left hand. Because I'm not really worried about being extra neat and precise. I'm going to use my non-dominant hand to work some of this. This area could be used as black. So I'm going to take some black paint, some real black paint, and blacken this part out. But not really solid black, kind of working it in there. I'm going to put a touch of the oxide purple, which, oh wait, this is black. The oxide purple is the nicest purple you can find in paints. The one I have, the one I'm using right now is, let's see if I can find it. Now I can't find it. colors. Okay, here it is. I'm using, but this one, the one I'm using is Basics. Dioxazine purple by Basics. But I also have this one here by Winsor Newton is Dioxazine purple. And it's pretty much the same color. It's just a deep, rich purple, beautiful color. And it blends in with the black. So if you don't want your black to be black, and have a little bit of that. Oh, and it's a translucent color, because look what it does. See? It's kind of like, right here, I'm going to show it to you. It just blends in, kind of mix it with a little bit of medium here. Now I like this where this is going, and I like this purple right here, kind of showing in between these two. Put some medium in here and just kind of smush it with my finger. And I can go over that section later. I want to cover up some background to recede and some foreground to come up, and to bring out the areas that I like the best of the painting. So I'm going back to the black, and it's going to go right here. Kind of like smushing it in there. And I see this area wants to be orange. It wants to be orange. So I'm going to take a little tiny bit of red and some yellow. And a little bit of orange here. And you see how it's when the Stabilo, no matter if it dries or not, it's going to reactivate when it gets wet with acrylic paint. And it kind of gives you a dirty look, which in this case I do want. And I'm going to add a little bit more in the pink color. Oh, it's getting, my brush is getting dirty. Okay, so I'm going to add some hot pink to I was going to put it, oh, right here. This area right here. Okay. And this needs some yellow to brighten it up a little bit. Now this yellow is mixing with black Stabilo, which is pretty cool. I like that look. And I'm going to put some of that yellow right there to bring out that flower. Now when I'm completely finished, these may not look like roses at all. I don't know what they're going to look like. You just keep adding and finding that the stuff that you do like. Now, I do like this area here, and I'm going to add some white to this area right here. Kind of